be doing all new jokes for you tonight. You won't have heard them before. I won't have heard them before. It's gonna be good. I am, just up top, a little bit about me. I am transgender. I'm also bisexual. I'm also mixed race. I'm also neurodiverse. I've worked as a sex worker. I've been a drug dealer. I'm now sober. So I think I'm uncancelable, but let's try it tonight. Let's see. Unpaid sex work. Me doing stand-up comedy, I think, should count as unpaid sex work. I think, like, I often get asked, like, questions after gigs, I think. Like, often I think I'm probably the only transgender person someone's seen before, especially on a stage. So I'll often get, like, a comedian come up to me afterwards and be like, hey, I just wanted to ask you something. And I'm like, okay. Cool. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy how, like, comfortable people are to just ask me questions about, like, my body or whatever. Like, sir, do you have a penis? Yeah? Yeah, you do. Cool, dude. Sick. I need to know that for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like just walking around sometimes, like sometimes, like, older men, like, I'll walk past an older man and he'll just have a look in his eye like he's been to Thailand a lot. I feel like that's unpaid sex work, me reminding him of his favorite memories. I think even so I did sex work for a bit. I've worked at a brothel, I've done porn. I think just, like, telling people that I've done porn before should be unpaid sex work, just because, like, I don't know, I've had people also come up to me after gigs and be like, hey, I've got a porn idea for you. And, like, I never know whether they think that, like, they're gonna be in it as well, or like, yeah, I had a friend come up to me and was like, I have this amazing porn idea for you where you play a nun and I play a priest. And I was like, did you go to Catholic school? And he's like, yes. Like, oh, cool, great. Yeah. Critical fail. I don't know. I feel like I failed at heaps of stuff. Like, I have done so many things before doing stand-up comedy, and I think it was just about, like, carrying less things. Like, I tried to go to art school for painting. That's so many things to carry. Like, canvas, paints, all that shit. I was in bands for a bit. I was playing drums. That's too many things to carry. Like, the last thing I was doing before this was, like, storytelling events. So I had to, like, write shit and sex work, and that's still too many things to carry. Yeah, condoms, lube. Yeah, that's, I don't know. This might tonight be the most critical fail I've ever had on stage. I like straight people. I love straight people. Some of my best friends used to think they were straight. I, like, sometimes if I, like, hang out with gay people too much, I'm just like, okay, yeah, right, yeah. Like, I think one of the reasons why I like stand-up comedy is because I'm like, oh, straight people are bullshit as well. Cool, okay. Yeah, I do like straight people though. Like you guys are real interesting. Like I found this out recently, this week, that apparently 44% of Australians would never date a bisexual. Yeah, 44% of Australians would never date a bisexual, and I'm bisexual, and I actually love that statistic. It makes me feel really good, because it's nice to know that you guys are fucking insecure as well. Thought that was just us. So we're just like, oh, I like everyone and no one. Fucking from home. Yeah, okay, so I wasn't that good at porn, because I liked doing it. Like, I like doing, like gigs where I would, like, go to someone's house and they'd film everything and they'd just give me some cash. But so many bitches are so good at OnlyFans, and I could not get around that. It's too fucking hard. Like when I was talking about, like, oh, it's really hard to, like, get porn gigs, a friend was like, why don't you just do an OnlyFans. I'm like, why don't you start an online business? Maintain it. I think the reason why I like doing porn more than working at a brothel as well is that like the guy's in on the bit. Like, like in sex work, you're kind of like, yeah, wow. In porn, you're like, oh, what should we do? Like I was working with this dude Taylor, and it was just fun. Like we'd just be chatting in between shots, and he'd have to like get hard again, and then like we were doing it, and he was like, okay, we should like do the finale. And I was like, oh yeah, true. And he was like, yeah, what do you want me to do? And I was like, I don't know. And he like looked at the camera and he was like, oh, you look really great in this light. Maybe if I just like come around the back of you and just like jerk off on you like a creep. And I was like, yeah, cool, dude, let's do that. That's it. Whereas like, yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like with brothel work, like as like a trans woman, I feel like the guy's like ramped himself up to do this thing that he's like been thinking about. And like I have to do like a little sort of like chat with him, and I'm like, you know, what kind of stuff are you into? And he's always like, oh, just normal stuff. And I'm like, fuck. The fuck is that gonna mean? Or if he's like, oh, I'm into some pretty crazy stuff. I'm like, okay, so doggy style, I'll give you a blowjob. The government's been sending me these letters lately. Actually, yeah, every couple of months I get a letter from the government telling me to check my cervix. I don't have a cervix. I'm always like, thank you, scammer. I'm like, one lame thing about more trans visibility and trans rights, a real terrible thing about that, is that I'm like less sure that I could ruin a man's career, like and blackmail him. Like I had sex with this I was living with this professor from Deakin University, the professor of philosophy at Deakin University for a little bit, John Roth, and I just can't blackmail that guy. Like his work and shit now. Also, he's a philosophy professor, so he has no money. What else? Okay, yeah, all right. Do you guys know about swerfs and turfs?
No.
So swerf is, it's basically people who believe that they're feminists, but they don't like sex workers or trans people. And that's oftentimes cis women who are like, I'm a feminist, I just don't think trans women are women, and I think that girls shouldn't be sluts or whatever, or make money off sex. And I don't know how to make this funny, but no, I think like I feel like I meet women like this a lot, and like it's hard to like, I'm not always sure like how to be a woman around cis women, because you guys often are like, I know everything about being a woman. It seems like that to me at least. But then I get to know you and you're like, I know nothing about being a woman. Can you help me? Like oftentimes I feel like it comes from a place of insecurity, you know? When like there's been a couple of like cis women who I've met who are like, you're definitely not a woman. And I'm like, cool. And they're like, also do not go near my boyfriend or husband. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, all right. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say on that. Sort it out, swerfs and turfs. Okay, alright. Another thing that happened, like, okay, so I feel like I've been doing comedy for like 2 years, and I feel like in the last 2 years, there's been a lot of like straight dudes doing jokes. You've seen some tonight about like getting a finger in the butt. They're like, whoa, imagine one finger. And sometimes I do my jokes, and then like a comedian will come up to me after and be like, is that real? Did you actually do that shit? I'm like, I'm watering it down for you guys. You guys are up to one finger. Like sometimes stuff does shock me though, like I have some friends who are like sort of into like the kink community and stuff. Yeah, I've always wanted to say this on stage. Okay, so this is probably the wildest shit that I ever heard about, which was I've got this friend Jane, and the way that I met Jane is that my friend Grace introduced me to her, and Grace was at a kink club, I met this girl, Jane, and Jane was like, hey, can you punch me in the face? And Grace was like, I've never done that before, I guess I'll give it a go. So they went like around an alley because they didn't want to freak anyone out. And then Jane, this bitch, pulls a fucking mouth guard out of her purse. Like, she's ready, she knows what she wants, you know? Like a condom, like that's her protection, a mouth guard. She carries in her purse. I don't know, I think that's fucking, that's hectic to me. I don't know.
And that is 10 minutes. Head to Joan, everybody.
Oh, thank you so much.